Hi everyone, I'm back. If you guys wonder why I split up like the videos, like the first time I did, I split up into two. The only reason why I split up videos is for the fact of I like them to be like a little bit properly prepared. So if I'm working on one and then all of a sudden I have like a brain fart, I just will hopefully have enough info. If I don't, I'll just restart on the video. But if I have enough info, I'll just cut it and then I'll make another one. So if that's an answer to your question, there you go. But so back on the subject of Japan's nuclear waste washing up on British Columbia shores, um, people's water being tainted and they no longer can drink it. They no longer can bathe within it, wash their dishes, do anything. And yeah, it's really difficult just for the fact of when it does happen, the procedure with it is if you watch Gasland, it's a really, really good documentary, and I believe that all people should watch it. Um, what happens is land is split up, right? So it's like we got land here, 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 and all of us as consumers, that's what Canada, United States, every part of the world sees us as consumers. If we buy a land in the county, there's 50,000 people, say, in a county and BP or any other gas company, oil company, whatever, wants to drill on one of their sites. Well, they don't own that property, so they have to try and persuade the buyer to try and let them drill on their land. So, with that being said, if I came up to you said, if you let me plant a plant in your front lawn. There's about 50 plants. They will help with everything. You won't put out much waste anymore and all that kind of stuff. And you say, oh, okay, how much are you going to give me if I let you do this? And I say, okay, I'll give you $1,000 per plant. You look at it as like, okay, you're planting 50 plants. That's $5,000. Or did I say $1,000 or $100? Well, if it's 1,000, it's 50 grand. If it's 100, it's 5,000. So if I asked you to do that, if I asked to do that, and you end up saying yes and everything, and I planted them, and say 4 days later, you end up saying, I'm getting all kinds of backwash, like my toilet's always getting plugged and everything else, and they're saying, well, can you help me? Like, it's seeming that the plants are causing all this stuff in my house to do that, and I told you, well, I can't help you. You signed for it, I planted them. There is no scientific proof of it doing that. What do? Then you, as the homeowner, have to pay for everything that me as myself fucked up. And then that comes out of their pocket. And then they have to pay for all that kind of stuff. So if we take that and put it towards the oil and gas companies when they're affecting people's mass quantities of water, then these people are being denied fresh water. And they're getting their water tested and they're saying, oh, the water's fine, when you look at some of this water and it's like, that water is not fine. And then they have to come out of their own pocket and pay for all this new water, go to Walmart or go somewhere and pay for this water where water should be free. Yeah, we pay for water, but we shouldn't have to go out and get a whole bunch of cases of it because we can't drink our tap water, because we can't bathe in our water, because we can't do our dishes in the water. And that's really, really terrible. And what do you think is like the cause of just sort of like a little bit of the corruption? Is what I'm trying to ask. Is like, that's corrupt a little bit, don't you think? Just that you deny someone the right of help when you're supposed to be there for the people. As I said, yeah, not yesterday, but the day before, who's there for the people? Nobody. You're there by yourself. You do everything yourself because at the end of the day, we're all independent. If you look back centuries and centuries and centuries, people, us as people, go to school every day. But if we look back centuries, what did people do? They did farmland, grew enough crops to hopefully would last in the wintertime, where we're not doing that. We go to school every day, we follow government, we do all that kind of crap. And I'm just saying is like, what happens if we had that blackout probably a few years ago? What if we were to ever have that blackout again? But at this time, it was longer. What if it lasted 2 months? You know what I mean? We're thinking Niagara Falls gives off pretty much all of Ontario's electricity, all the way to Quebec. I don't know how far it goes, but it gives off all our electricity, everything we need. And the reason why we ended up having that blackout was because we had so many people putting on their ACs because the summer was so hot that it ended up, it's like a grid. If you have your grid and it keeps going, there's that maximum, you know what I mean? There's that maximum, and the pedals will still keep going. It'll keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. But there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people using that energy. Eventually, it just can't go no more, and it just stops. And then that's what happens is all electricity. So we're talking that all of Ontario, parts of Quebec wouldn't have electricity. And if that happened for a few months, where are we supposed to get our food? Because you have to think that all electricity is out. No more phones, everyone. No phones at all. No internet. Because you don't have any electricity on the internet. You can't plug in your computer. Because you have no electricity. You have nothing. I hope you have a good stock of food and a big amount of cases of water. Well, water, I think, would still run. And that's the problem. Now, I'm going to pause it again, and I'll be back in probably another 5 minutes.